Hey there, and welcome back. You're watching part 3 in a video series that I prepared in order to be able to present to you the content of a philosophical essay that I wrote titled Deconstructing the Human Condition. You can find the full text of this essay on my WordPress blog, which is erikvandepoel.wordpress.com. In this episode, I'm going to read to you an extract from chapter 2 of the essay. This chapter is about human emotion. I'm again not starting at the start of the chapter. I'm simply diving into the text, and the bit I'm going to read to you now is as follows. Intuitions, those occasional flashes of instant insight, seemingly bypassing our reason and foregoing justification, are believed to actually be a type of crossover between pure emotion and pure reason. The Greek philosopher Aristotle is believed to be one of the first greater thinkers to have given credence to that observation. He is oft said to have suggested that intuitions may hold a certain amount of rationality depending on the circumstances. In spite of its long-standing history in the West as a scientific no-go area, intuitions as an increasingly respectable, albeit sulkily controversial investigative topic in the broadening field of neuroscience, can be seen to incrementally solidify into the position that intuitions are real, and that these unthinking manifestations of emotional rationality serve an existentially vital purpose. They are surmised to involve the subconscious release into synaptic brain tissue of memories with a particular emotional or physical charge that are simultaneously infused on a conscious level with a generous dose of reasoned imagination. A currently fashionable tripartition in this respect is to distinguish between core intuitions, domain-specific intuitions, and social intuitions. Core intuitions are our most fundamental intuitions, so to speak, as regards the working of our universe and our relative position in it. For instance, the intuitive belief that reality will continue to conform to our expectations even when we are not paying attention. Domain-specific intuitions come into play depending on the amplitude of specialist familiarity with the various domains of human activity. For instance, great scientific or artistic discoveries are typically made by humans both passionately involved in and also talented in their particular fields. Social intuitions are considered to be the intuitions that pop up over the course of our interactions with other people, reading the emotional dynamics within a human collective to put us at ease or on our guard when we find ourselves in the company of fellow humans. Indicative of the relevance of these particular intuitions, many paracivilian law enforcement organizations in our time have developed and pursued a vested interest in mastering the art of spotting and telling convincing lies for tactical and strategic purposes. You are invited to examine the importance of intuition in your life to date by considering how well aware you are of any intuitions popping up inside you and the levels of trustworthiness that you yourself credit these intuitions with. Another term that from the beginning of the 1990s of the Christian calendar to date also has been very much en vogue among neuropsychologists and other human science researchers, also I have been led to believe, is emotional quotient, EQ. EQ describes the degree of control humans are capable of exercising over their emotions and basically equates to a set of numerical values on a scale covering a range of intelligences from linguistic, mathematical, spatial, musical, bodily, kinesthetic to interpersonal and intrapersonal. In its broader spectrum approach, EQ seems to display a trifle more sophistication than its oft dreaded and in certain circles highly regarded counterpart IQ, which is intelligence quotient, which focuses exclusively on reasoning skills. High IQ humans are supposed to have statistically better odds at becoming successful members of our society because they are obviously very talented in the clinical thinking department. Purportedly high EQ people are blessed with high levels of self-awareness and are rather good at managing their emotions to help them succeed at whatever passion it is they wish to pursue. Just the same, our individual IQ and EQ levels offer no guarantees for a long, happy and prosperous life. Consensus might exist in the, by modern standards, already fairly classical position describing the inconspicuously in-your-face likelihood that emotion and reason intimately depend on one another for the purpose of vital balance, a state being also known as homeostasis, whereby our emotions and our reason provide us humans with a relatively stable platform from which to experience life. But where indeed does knowledge fit into this raging torrent of emotions then? As we've seen earlier, intuitions, by some curious twist of providence, give rise to the inception of knowledge in the sense that they provide fuel for our reasoning circuitry. In other words, intuitions give us something to think about. So that's an extract from chapter 2 about human emotion. Again, you can find the full text on my WordPress blog, which is ericvanderpoel.wordpress.com, and there is lots more good stuff there. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to like it, subscribe to my channel. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. For now, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. My name is Erik van der Poel. Bye bye!